Welcome to the Wisdom of 21 Winning Women and Their Lessons. My name is Reverend Joy Dore, and I'll be your host today. The purpose of this summit is to empower, to inspire, educate women by showcasing the diverse experiences and wisdom of 21 accomplished women who have achieved success in their respective fields. The summit aims to create a platform for collaboration, learning, and networking, fostering a supportive community for women striving for excellence. Lastly, help women embrace their winning moments, regardless of how small or big, towards a successful and fulfilling life. And this time we are looking to empower, excel, embrace, and elevate. And in the studio today, hey guys, are you ready for this one? In the studio today, we have our coach in the house, Mor. She has been an energy healer for over 18 years. Hope you get that. For over 18 years now. She's a mom of 3 little ones, happily married, and eager to create a world where every woman feels safe and seen and free in her body. I like that one. You feel seen, you feel safe and free. I want you to pick that up, right? So, and I'm just going to open the doors as all of us have been waiting to hear from our amazing expert, our amazing coach. She just take us through her path, her journey, how she ended, how she learned it, and all that she has accomplished so far. So, Coach Moore, take it away.
Well, hi everybody. I'm so honored to be here and to take part in this amazing summit because I feel like the stories and the journeys that we all go through are also the voices for you who listen. And every time we walk the path and experience something as a healer, as a coach, I always try to share it with my clients, with my community, because I realize it is the opportunity for growth all the time. So thank you so much for doing this summit because I truly believe that by listening to this and listening to our experiences, you can expand your life, you can expand your awareness, and you can gain knowledge that will shift and change your life. That is my goal with this, with being on this summit. So, as Reverend Joy said, I am an energy healer and a trauma informed coach. I've been working with women for over 18 years now, helping them to heal their body. Most of the women that come to me for anxiety, depression, migraines, pain in their body. And so many times they've tried it all, right? They tried it all. They took medication, they went to doctors, they went to therapy, but here they are. They're still in pain, they're still suffering, they still feel low energy, unfulfilled, and very disconnected from their body. And what I realized in this line of work is that 99% of women feel like anxiety, depression. They feel like that is the root cause, when really it's just a symptom to something much, much deeper. And most of them, I want to say at least 99%, have experienced some form of sexual trauma. And I know this might be shocking to you because a lot of women think of sexual trauma in terms of rape, sexual abuse, being molested, but there's so many different levels of sexual trauma that we can go through as women. And what ends up happening is we just cut those parts of us off energetically. We just disconnect from our feminine power, our energy power, from our powerhouse. I call your whole area of your vagina and your uterus your powerhouse. And I call this because when I was about 16, I got this very strong message from the universe, from God. I woke up in the middle of the night and I just had this message in my head: you have to heal the powerhouse. And I was like, what is the powerhouse? What is the powerhouse? And I got this whole vision and image of a woman, and it really showed me how women are disconnected. And it was this really intense experience for me. Now, because I was raised in a family with a mom that was very spiritual, I was always into tarot cards and angel cards and talking to my angels and crystals and energy and meditation. Like my mom was all about it. As a teenager, I rejected it in every way, of course, because I had to go against my mom. I had to
I
find my
got
own path, my own way, but God or the universe, whatever, creator had a way to come to me and just tell me like this is what you need to be doing. And I
mm-hmm.
rejected that for the longest time also. I was like, how am I going to do that? What how am I going to heal women's bodies and connect them to their powerhouse? Like what? But it became this path, this guiding light for me, and I learned started learning energy healing work, starting tapping into my power, starting working with women, and people were just referring their friends to me, their family members, because what I was doing was helping them and shifting and changing. And what I was really doing, what I realized is that when we experience trauma, it stays in our body. The trauma stays in our body and it creates this void. And so many of us push this trauma down. We push it down to avoid it. A lot of times we forget it exists. We forget it even happened. And we're feeling very disconnected. So we experience the traumatic event. We pretend it doesn't exist until we buy the story that it never happened. And then we feel disconnected from our creative energy, disconnected from being a woman, disconnected from our vagina. So it becomes really numb. So we just become kind of numb down there and we're just disconnected. And then what happens? Your um not immune system, your nervous system feels hyper alert. And so it becomes this system, like an alarm system. Every time you feel like you're in danger or something feels similar to what you experienced when you experience trauma, your body starts acting anxiety, right? You start feeling anxiety. You start feeling sad and depressed. You don't know why. And you think, oh my gosh, I have anxiety. You don't realize there's a root to where this is coming from. And so the first thing I want you guys to realize, and you should write this down, is that your anxiety, your depression is a symptom. You're not born with anxiety. You're not born with depression. You're not born with migraines. A lot of times we go to, it's something I ate, I'm allergic to this. Um, you know, I have to cut these foods out, I have to do these exercises. But this is why, for so many women, when you take medication, and let me tell you, I have to tell you this, like I'm in so many women's groups that have anxiety, that have depression. And when I talk to them, they say to me, I'm on medication, on 5 different kinds of medication, but I still can't leave my house. So maybe it helps for a little bit. But what they don't realize is medication is meant to numb the pain. So it makes you more numb. It has really bad side effects and it doesn't heal the actual problem. And that's why so many women, even though they are on medication, and even though they are trying different things, they're not feeling better. It's because they need to clear the trauma from the body. And so this is where I come into the picture. I've developed a system, I've learned different modalities and really created my own with my intuition and guidance, my God, of going into the body and really releasing the trauma from the body, from your cells, from the cell memory. The best way to describe energy is I want you to think about something that somebody said to you that was really hurtful for you. Like they said something and you felt like it was a stab in your heart and you walked with this feeling like somebody punched you in the gut or stabbed you in the heart, like so painful. Okay, I want you to remember this feeling. And when I'm talking about it, you're reliving this feeling in your body. It's like it's happening all over again. The pain, the hurt, you feel it. That's because when you were hurt, your body is holding on to the experience. And until you clear that feeling, until you forgive, until you realize that there was a lesson to be learned from this experience, until you go through the process, you are going to hold on to this feeling. And it can become a grudge. It can become resentment. It could become anger. You can become triggered, right? And so as a mom, I realized when I became a mom to three children, I realized that if I don't heal these traumas in me, I'm going to give it to my children. So it added a whole new layer of healing that had to happen for me. Even though I was raised in a family with a mom that was a healer, I have experienced a lot of pain growing up. I grew up, my parents got divorced when I was 6. My father died in a car accident when I was 9. I went through my own share of sexual molestation from a family member. And then when I was a teenager, experienced rape when I was working at the beach. And so I went through my own fair share of trauma, but I also went to therapy. My mom was very aware. And so she sent me to therapy. I was in therapy from 9, probably until 17. And the thing is that therapy never worked for me because I was a master manipulator at talking myself out of situations. So regular therapy was no issue because I knew I could manipulate to get what I wanted. I could talk about my emotions. I could talk about my experiences. But you know what I realized? I didn't feel a thing. Because when you experience trauma, you disassociate. There's a part of you that just separates completely from your body. And I wasn't aware of this until I started doing healing work. And there's this thing that we do. It's called muscle testing. And I was working with a partner, and she was asking me questions, and your body just moves backward and forward depending on the muscle testing. You'll ask like a yes or no question, and you'll see your body will move forward or backwards. And you can try this at home. You can stand up and just ask. You can try with my name is Mor and see what your body does, forward or backwards. Ask I love chocolate, forward or backwards. And you can ask these questions to play with the energy. Your body has the muscle memory, it will tell you. So this lady was questioning me. She was asking me questions. And then when she started going deep on things I didn't want to answer, I just froze. And she said to me, "What's going on? You keep leaving your body every time I ask you a question you don't want to answer." And I said to her, "Wow, that is so true. I just freeze. I feel like I leave my body when you get to a point where it hurts." And so I suddenly got this awareness that I just learned because it was too painful to be in my body to disconnect. And so I went through a whole process of healing, making my body safe by clearing the trauma from the body, and then bringing back the parts of me that escaped every time I felt pain or frustration. And so that was one part. And when I started doing that, I realized I had so much more energy because I was being me. I realized that when my kids, when I was tired and I was triggered and my kids are really loud and driving me crazy and weren't listening and I would lose my temper, I realized that wasn't me. I was acting from a place of anger, of frustration, of trauma that I didn't know how to deal with. And so when I was able to clear that, I was able to actually be me, which was so much more powerful. And I had to start asking myself, am I being me here? Right? Is this my reaction or somebody else's reaction? Because so many beliefs were just embedded from everything else I saw and everything else I learned. And so when we dive into energy healing work, there's two components. One is finding the subconscious beliefs that are blocking you from where you want to be. And two is clearing the trauma from the body so you can be free of the trauma. And I call it the diamond effect because I feel like it's 4 stages. A lot of times in the metaphysical world, you hear about the mind, body, and soul pyramid, right? There's like the mind, body, soul pyramid. Well, I realized that with women, there's also the source, okay? And so it's a diamond shape. So I call it the diamond effect because it's also your source. It's not enough to heal your mind, your body, your soul. You also have to heal your source, and your source is your powerhouse. And when women say to me, "Well, I don't think I've experienced sexual trauma," I say to them, "Okay, that's valid. I want you to think about it in a different way. Think about all the places you reject being a woman. anything about you that rejects as being a woman. Maybe you got your period and the reaction was not great. Maybe you were raised in a family that you never talk about sex. Maybe you had a really bad birth experience. Maybe you had a miscarriage. Maybe you had an abortion. Maybe your first sexual experience wasn't great. It's all the places where you separated from your sexuality, from your feminine power. Okay. And so if you are not feeling fulfilled, if you're not feeling creative, if you're not feeling in the energy, I call it the orgasmic energy of creation, because that's what it is, right? When you have the most amazing orgasms and when you have the most amazing connective sex, it creates this energy that brings life, right? We create life with this energy. But if we
Yes.
cut that part of us off, then we're not creating life. And not just that, all the energy that we cultivate as women, it goes away because it's like we're energetically disconnected. So all the energy just flows out. That's why women are so tired. They're so depleted. They're working so hard. They don't feel fulfilled. There's this void that needs to be filled. And we think that going out on dates or traveling or going out to fancy restaurants or, maybe overeating late at night is going to fill that void. Drinking wine, it's going to fill that void. Smoking pot, it's going to fill that void. But the truth is, the only thing that's really going to heal that void is you choosing you choosing to step into your power. You're choosing to heal what's keeping you stuck and knowing that you're not alone. Okay. We know 1 out of 3 women recorded experience sexual trauma. So how many of us have experienced that? We're not even aware of it. And that's the thing here. So many women that come to me, they're just so not aware of what they're really dealing with because we're just living life and letting life lead us. And I'm inviting you to lead your own life, to be the leader of your life, to choose to live a life of intention. One thing I learned losing my dad so young was that life is just too short. It's too short. You never know when your last breath is going to be, but you know how you want to live that life. And I made a decision, no matter how hard things happened for me and how hard things were, I'm going to live every day like it's my last day. I'm going to kiss my children, even if I'm mad at them, and I'm going to make them give me hugs. I mean, in a good way. Not make them give me hugs, but you know what I mean. And experience every day like it's your last. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's true. We only have one life, and every day is important. And so it's not worth being anxious, feeling anxiety, feeling depression. It's not worth being in pain. You didn't come here to be in pain. You didn't come here to hide in your home. You came here to live a full life. You chose to come to this lifetime in this body so you can experience joy and happiness and fulfillment. And yes, we have sad days. Yes, we have bad days. But remember that emotions are just energy in motion. So it's just a wave. You can ride that and let it go. It doesn't have to become your story. Anxiety, depression does not have to become your story. The trauma that you experience, it doesn't have to be your story. You get to clear it, you get to heal it, you get to reclaim your power and create the story that you want to have.
I'm not a power right there. Oh my, this is, help me, Lord. This is good. I love it. I love it. And a question in my spirit, like, this is not even one of the questions, but it just dropped as you're talking. Because, this word anxiety, depression, anxious, however you're going to look at it from your realm, somebody's watching you right now. I'm listening to a woman in my spirit who is speaking to me. Like, okay, I've heard about this word, but I don't know what I feel. But I know I'm not feeling okay. I know it's not adding up, but I'm not sure if it's anxiety, if I'm depressed, or what are the symptoms that show somebody that you're in that anxiety, or you're being depressed, or even when you really do not know because some people don't know
Right.
What will you tell our audience, the ladies watching, like, okay, this is how you should know that you're in the depression realm or anxiety, or this is how I knew, what was triggering or what triggers those things, and how can they manage it?
So this is the thing. When I feel like when things aren't working the way you want them to be working, when you feel like you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, when you feel like you're not excited about life, when you find yourself yelling more at your partner or your children and spending more time in a negative mood, when you know that's not really who you are, but you don't really have control because you don't know how to do something different, right? You don't have the tools to do something different. And so, what I want to share with you is an access consciousness tool that's amazing. It's called Who Does It Belong To? And it comes from the idea that 99% of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, they don't belong to you. We are these amazing energetical beings, and we just take on. We take on from others, we take on from family, we take on from friends, and our body takes on. We take on emotions and feelings. The best example is, you know how you're driving in your car, you're listening to music, everything is good, you're partying down, and suddenly you get to the stoplight and there's this red light, and you're stopping in the stoplight, and suddenly you just feel like the energy drops. Suddenly it's like, mm, mm. And then you're like, you start trying to think, okay, why am I sad suddenly? Like, why did the energy drop? Oh, it's probably because I need to pay my bills. We try to justify, like, why suddenly am I sad? Where if you just stopped and said, wait, who does this belong to? Is this mine? You'll be amazed at how much of those things are not yours. And you'll just say, okay, not mine, return to sender, energetically return to sender, and let it go and bring back up the music and bring back up the party. This is the same with everything. I use this tool so much with my children, with my husband. I pick up my kid from school, and if they're acting different, sometimes they're around children, they'll just start acting like them. They'll start talking like them, they'll act like them. They go into my car, I'll turn around, I'll look at them, I'm like, who are you being right now? Because you're not being my kid. And you can see their eyes would just flicker. My teenager's like, what are you talking about? She's 10. I'm being myself. I'm like, okay, well, who else are you being? She'll define it, but she will switch back around to her. Okay. This works with pain. I was walking in a park with my friend, with my kids, and my knee started hurting out of nowhere. And in the past, I would just go like, "Oh, what did I do? I wore the wrong shoes. I did the wrong step, right?" And instead, I just said, "Oh, who does it belong to? This is not mine. Who does it belong to?" And I immediately saw across the path an older man walking, and he was holding his knee. You could tell it was hurting. And so it's just the way of my body to kind of tell me, okay, there's somebody in pain, right? It's just giving me information. But I don't have to take it on. I don't have to make it myself. And so if you are feeling like this, play with this tool. It will create magic in your life. Ask, who does it belong to? Ask, is this mine? Ask, am I being me right now? When I started doing this with my parenting, it was amazing, right? My first reaction would be like, come on, we're late, put your shoes on, get in the car, I can say that 1,000 times. Nobody hears me until I yell and they get in the car. And then I had to ask, okay, wait, is this what Mor would do? Like, what would Mor do here? When I started asking that question, it was amazing what showed up. What would Mor do? I would put music and I would start dancing my way to the car and be like, I'm having a party in the car. See you there, right? Who doesn't want to come to a party in my car? All my kids, 5 minutes, they're in a car, right? So when you start asking the questions, you'll get answers that are aligned with you. But when you are down in the trenches, it's hard to see the light. And so if you are feeling down, if you're feeling stuck, if you're trying things and they're not working, and you're still feeling heaviness, feeling sadness, play with this tool, who does it belong to? But also ask for help. Ask for help. We all need guidance. We all need tools. And I'm here. I'm just like you. I just learned a few extra things, right? I'm just more tapped into my intuition right now. But I believe anybody can be in this place. I believe we're all in a place of being able to heal and teach others and grow a community of women in a world that supports and love and connected.
Oh my God. Oh, Mor, you bless me. Jesus. No, I will call Jesus. I will call Lord. This is Reverend Joy, as you guys know, right? So, and to come to think about what you just said about that pain, with the old person in the park or example you use. Do you know, I always, all my life, because I believe in my spirit that I was given a healing ministry. And I really, I really love to pray for people when they are sick. I still do that now. People reach out, and I always tell myself, without even thinking it how you think it, that every time headache come to me, I'm carrying somebody's pain. And that always, as soon as I finish praying for that person, I don't pray for myself. I say, Father, in the name of Jesus, whoever this pain belong to, I release healing upon them. And it looked like, boom, the pain will just go. But imagine how many people that will come to. For me, spiritual. As you say, God had to come and show you this is your path. But for me, all my life, Daddy being a pastor, but that wasn't the reason why I went into the ministry. I went into the ministry, God believe, I just knew, just like you, God could not, whatever it take him to bring me to that place. He even moved me all the way from my country straight and dropped me in the wilderness in Philippines. I call it just to make me a minister of the gospel, full stop. But now, if it wasn't for me who align and know what to do, imagine how many people that pain will come to and they will carry it all day. From there, they might even end up in the hospital, not knowing that it was actually not for them. All they needed to do was just to use their tongue God has given them to locate who is for, bless that person, and release it out of them immediately.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to tell you here today, people call it good sport. I don't call it that. I call it the presence of God. You know me, that's my atmosphere. You have so given us the presence of God today that I'm really blessed that you came. And I really want to even stop right now and say thank you. And tell every audience, I don't know about you, but I have got so much today, especially moms who are raising kids. Like me, you helped me a lot. I have 3. They call them preteen. That's what the
Yeah,
state call them. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Help me
I
now.
do. I have one of my own.
And they are back to back, the preteen are 3 preteen. No one is teen yet. No one is below now. They are all in it. Oh my God. So anyway, ladies, as she said, the best part for me is that we are creating a community you can depend on. That is just what this summit is all about. So you don't have to do it alone. You're confused now. You want more. We are opening up for more. Because even very soon, I'm going to ask our coach how to find her, how to work with her. Because 2024 is not a year you're going to settle. Don't settle in those pain. Don't settle in those anxiety. They're not going to help you. They're not going. I have a friend here in my team member because I have, I work with companies. I represent them and I have like hundreds of people in my team. And one of them fell off critically last year just because she allowed anxiety. Actually, they're my passion-driven women that forcing me to do this. I really want to help you. That's why I'm doing this. I want to help you. It's not my inabilities anymore. It's the strength I'm going to build out of you who are watching us today. And I realized that with so much power she had, that I know she can do more. Anxiety, depression, whatever, worry, stroke, whatever you're going to call it, she was there. And we have a master coach in the house today telling you, I got the secret. I've decoded it. You know what it means more to decode something? You know how many people have problem because nobody have decoded what they're going through and they are still in it? This lady have the key to give you freedom from that anxiety, that worry, that depression. And hey, just a few minutes before you came, I was asking myself, why are we not living our best life now when we don't know what is going to happen the next minute? Just let that sink. Just let that, think about that. You watching us right now. And I'm just going to open up and tell my master coach, where can we find you? Who want to do what you're doing? what will you tell them? How will they link up with you, and what is the free gift you have for the audience today? Because we just want you to know that we are here for more. And more too.
I know, I keep saying like 2024 is the year of more, asking for more, and being more of you, and really connecting to who you are. My company's name is Morph, Transform Your Reality, because it's all about transforming into you and who you came here to be. And actually, I'm teaching a class on the 12th of February. It's for Valentine's Day, for Love Day. It's about love, expectations, and commitments. It's going to be all about clearing all those beliefs that we have about love and about expectations and about commitments, and how it actually keeps us stuck and separated from the people that we love, and separated from bringing in love into our life, and also love for ourselves. So this is a great entry class if you're interested. We'll drop some information for you. I do one-on-one coaching. I do classes and workshops. I created the Pocket Therapy app. It's a little app that you download, and it has really quick 5 to 10 minutes energetical structures that you can listen to, plug in and listen to, and they're for anxiety, depression, laughter, love, energy. They're really quick, but they activate the energy for you, and they switch up the funk that you're in. If you need more energy, you listen to energy one. In 5 minutes, you're energized. You want a good laugh, you listen to the laughter one, and you are going to be in a completely different mood. Okay, so it's all about shifting the energy right away, because as a mom, you need that, you need to be able to shift and play and move and be present for your kids. And to me, like I said, I did not want to give my trauma to my children. I didn't want them, I wanted them to have their full life experience, not living through what my pain was. And so my main key is really to heal our bodies so we don't pass it down to our children. So you can find me, I'm on Instagram at morph.yelvington. You can find me on Facebook, Mor Yelvington, and we have all the stuff. But the gift I want to give to you is a very special training that's the 3 secrets to overcoming and healing anxiety now. And also I attached a very special body process for healing anxiety in the moment. So if you are, you're suddenly feeling the anxiety creeping up, you listen to the body process, you do it with me. It's like a guided meditation. It's really quick, but it will snap you out of that, because anxiety is, again, it's just like these waves. But a lot of times those waves can really keep us stuck. And then we will not leave the house. We will not go driving. We'll cancel on our friends. We'll not be present for our kids. So you're able to plug in, do the body process. It will snap you out of it, and you can continue with your life.
Oh my God, is that not huge? Is that not huge? Guys, ew, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much for all that you're here, working, especially moms. Oh my God. I remember when I used to do my face-to-face sales, and trust me, I needed you more than ever. Like everything was just, but thank God for, connecting with women worldwide, having all this team. Thank God for, sometimes, I thank God for COVID. Sometimes, like literally say, thank God for COVID. Because, yes, it was a lot of, people died, but it kind of like shifted and gave moms life. Hey, you watching us? A lot of moms are having life right from their home. And we are not apologizing for it. We're just living. We are happy and we are rocking. And that is the community we want to bring you in. That is the community we want to shift your mind to, so that you will know it's no longer 1990. This is 2024. Come on. Join us.
Exactly.
Join us over here and just make this life happen. Hey, there's so much to live for. So much.
Yes.
No matter how small, how big, there's just so much to live for. And that's what we want to help you, walk you by hand to get there. So don't forget, March 6, 7, 8, we're going to have one of those days, our amazing lady, to be there to answer your burning question. Like, hey, I hear it, but this is my show. We got you for that. And also, don't forget to tune into all the, of our interview, where this here we call them accomplished winning women. They're just pouring out their heart to help you. And we didn't want to do it at the end of the year. We want you to write your 12 months goal, like right now. Mor is asking you, pick up your book, write down everything you want to accomplish 12 months from now and get it going. So with that said, we just want to say thank you again. I call you master, like master in what you do. I love it. I love it. Thank you for, coming in, saying yes to us, saying yes to our community, and looking forward to seeing you March, 6, 7, 8, one of those days, and also just continually serving the women that God has called us for. So with that said, we're going to say, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.